number 8 Georgia Tech at NC State, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time on ESPN2. Georgia Tech looking to continue their undefeated season right now. Their first 8-0 start since 1966. The Yellow Jackets haven't even won 8 games in a season in the 9 years before this year. They'll try to further stake their claim right now as a legitimate contender to win the ACC title right now. They're actually the favorite on DraftKings Sportsbook to win the ACC championship this year against NC State this weekend. The Wolfpack have lost 4 of its last 5 games, but are still, as you can see right there, only 5.5-point home underdogs against the undefeated Yellow Jackets right now, according to DraftKings Sportsbook.
No, this NC State team is spunky because they got Hollywood Smothers and CJ Bailey in that offense. They can score on a lot of days. Their defense isn't great. They've had moments where they've really faltered, and teams that can run the ball on them, like Virginia Tech, also can have success on them. But no, this is a talented football team that generally keeps themselves in all of the games that they play. And again, road favorite, pretty good team in NC State. Georgia Tech, don't take this for granted. It's not, they're another one where we've talked about, their schedule through the ACC and then just getting to the Georgia game, 11-0 and all of that. This is a type of game that can be dangerous. I think this and the Pitt game, those are going to be the 2 dangerous games here for Georgia Tech.
So you have the Georgia Tech offense in this one led by a Heisman candidate quarterback right now in Haynes King. What should we know when he has the ball in this game?
Absolutely. You've got Haynes King, you've got Malachi Hosley, you've got Jamal Haynes, you got the Haynes & Haynes law firm backfield. You've got Malik Rutherford on all the jet sweeps. Eric Rivers figures into that conversation. The entire point of this Georgia Tech offense is to get to the outside as much as possible. Wash things down on the defensive line, pulling guys around, read options, jet sweep with options. Haynes King design runs, getting off tackle. Everything is designed to get off tackle in this Georgia Tech run game. On off tackle runs, 21st in the country in rushing grade, 5th in EPA per rush, 5th in yards before contact per attempt, and the 17th most explosive runs off tackle in the country. That's really what you have to figure out is your defensive line. When you play against this Georgia Tech team, they're generally not going to be a huge factor because so many of these runs go to the outside. The good news for NC State, their 2 highest graded starters in run defense on defense are 2 of their linebackers, Kenny Soares Jr. and Caden Fordham. Those are the guys. When I talk about Georgia Tech and stopping this team, and you're going to hear me say something similar about Utah and Cincy when we get there later, linebackers are so key to your success. If you don't have linebackers that can read offensive lines and get to the football, and even against option football, know where it's going to be, you don't stand a chance. It's a good set of linebackers that Georgia Tech's going against. I think it's going to be a fun test, but you have to stop the outside running game, especially on early downs, if you're going to beat the Yellow Jackets.
And in this one, too, you got to stop the run game because Hollywood Smothers has been a star running back for NC State this year. He's really been the engine of NC State's offense this season. The redshirt sophomore has 825 rushing yards so far. That's 6th among all running backs in the country. He's also 6th in the country with 22 explosive runs this year. And he's 7th in the nation with 528 yards after contact, too. So Hollywood Smothers has been a phenomenal running back as a redshirt sophomore and a breakout player for the Wolfpack this year. Georgia Tech, meanwhile, has had significant issues bringing down ball carriers this year. They have missed a tackle on 19% of runs this year, the 3rd worst rate in the Power 4. That's also compounded by the fact that Georgia Tech is only 92nd in the country in rushing yards before contact per attempt at 1.8. And if the Yellow Jackets stack the box to stop Hollywood Smothers, quarterback CJ Bailey is a solid passer who can hit talented pass catchers that NC State's got right now, like wide receiver Terrell Anderson and, of course, tight end Justin Jolie, too. So Hollywood Smothers is a very, very good running back, one of the best we have in college football right now. And Georgia Tech's run D has not been very good, but they can't stack the box either because NC State is more than capable of beating them through the air.
Can Bailey keep it together when he needs to? Smothers is going to get his, and I think both teams are going to have success running the football. But Bailey, you look at this team that's lost 4 straight games to Power 4 teams. Against Duke, a 49.5 passing grade. Against Notre Dame, 34.3. Last week against Pitt, better, a 66.6 with 3 touchdowns, but can Bailey keep it together in big situations? And I do think, as I always talk about with these Georgia Tech games, who gets ahead early, who wins the first quarter. And, we had a game especially, actually a couple of games we've seen where Georgia Tech has had the ability to come back. The Colorado game and the Duke game really stick out. But I think it's big for NC State here if they can find a way to get a lead and make Haynes King beat you throwing the football. That's always the key there. So I think it's really going to be big the first quarter of this game. Who jumps out to a lead, who can stick with the run game for as long as possible.
Definitely. So ultimately, Dalton, will Georgia Tech continue their undefeated season and go to 9-0 on the year? Or will NC State get a massive upset?
Another one, dangerous game, and I've got the underdog covering here, but I'm going to take Haynes King and Georgia Tech in a high-scoring game, 35-31. I do think it's going to be big for both of these teams, but especially Georgia Tech, as always, get ahead early because you don't want NC State to just get comfortable and hand the ball to Smothers 25 times and just see what he can do. Make C.J. Bailey beat you, and on the other side, make Haynes King beat you with his arm. And he's been really good this year, no question about it, passing the football, but this is still a run-first offense. I do think, as Georgia Tech has been doing all year, they will find a way to stick to their identity and win this ball game, but I'm going to take NC State to cover again on the road. Talented team. Yes, they've lost 4 games in a row to Power 4 teams, but they do have enough offensive firepower to keep themselves in this game.
I am taking NC State to cover as well, but not to win. I have Georgia Tech winning 31-28. I think both offenses, like Dalton said, could have success in this game. I think Haynes King, as he's done all year, will do just enough to extend Georgia Tech's undefeated season right now, and he shows why he's a top Heisman candidate right now with a win over the Wolfpack. So Georgia Tech moves to 9-0 in both Dalton and I's predictions right now.